Oh, hello everyone. I'm getting my life organized over here, but I love how this is how I'm starting out the video. But yes, if you can't tell by the title of this video and how I look, this is going to be what I'm calling spring summer reading, get ready with me / reading wrap up. So I never got to do a reading wrap up for May. May into the month of June was just such a busy time for me. I did a lot of traveling. I had a lot of events. I launched a bookish merch collection, just saying. I'm going to go over all of the books that I read for May and June and obviously do my makeup while we talk about it. I did one of these videos a while ago, like probably last year, and then I've done like a couple makeup tutorials for like TikTok and Instagram, but I always love doing makeup because I am a makeup artist. I've been a makeup artist for like 10 years at this point, and I especially have been really loving my summer makeup, and like I'm gonna go through obviously the products that I use. I do get messages a lot on Instagram and stuff because if you know, I always talk about beauty products that I'm loving over there. But yeah, I'm gonna sit down right now, do my makeup with you guys, and then talk all of the books that I've read so far this spring and summer. Right, so the first most important step is sunscreen. I am obsessed with my St. Jane sunscreen. It is everything to me. It also acts as a makeup primer. My skin is incredibly sensitive. It's really breakout prone. I have repurchased this SPF multiple times and it does not break me out. It's the St. Jane Luxury Sun Ritual Pore Smoothing SPF 30. Like I said, it also is a sensational makeup primer. I don't really use any other makeup primers except for that. So I get my sunscreen, it keeps my makeup on all day, and I am just obsessed with it. And then before we talk about books, just my base that I use for the summer. This is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream in the shade Medium, which is my self-tan color. I'm actually putting on more self-tanner tonight, but I use the matte formula because I do have more oily skin this time of year. So we're just going to use that. I'm going to apply it with a beauty blender, and then we'll talk about the books that I read in May, at the first start of May. The first audiobook that I listened to was called Unferal. Unferal. I don't even know the name. That's what it is. By Elodie Hart, and this was just a, simple, like taboo romance between, I don't know if it was the guy who like owned her apartment building or if it was the guy who was like her neighbor. Maybe it was someone who was like her neighbor, but he is an older man who actually owns an adult club. So it was about a younger girl who, she's kind of struggling with like religion and like her values, entering this world of dating this man who owns this adult club. That kind of book is always right up my alley. I like that the characters they were British, so they had accents, so that made it a fun audiobook. It was really hot, it was really fun. Is it my favorite thing I've ever read? No, but in the moment, I really had fun with it. I definitely will be reading more from this series. It's like a whole series, I think, of people who are connected to this adult club. I personally love books like that, and it was really, really spicy, which I love. Also had a good plot going. I'm pretty sure I gave it like 4 stars. It was definitely solid, and I really recommend it if you like spicy taboo books and you haven't picked it up yet. And sorry if the lighting goes in and out in this video. I am filming in front of my window because this is the best spot that I could sit down and film. And you know what? It is what it is. Then for another forbidden romance audiobook that I loved to bits and pieces, we have Only for the Weak by Natasha Bishop. This book was so hot. I loved it so much. This was a sensational audiobook. It was just a sensational book in general. It's also the perfect listen to read right now in the summer because it is about characters going on a tropical vacation for a wedding. So basically this girl's sister is actually marrying her ex. So it's a lot of drama. It's really juicy. And then she ends up hooking up with I don't know if he's the best man. He might be the best man. I think it's like she's the maid of honor. He's the best man. And this man, he is rich. He spoils her to bits. This book was so sexy, so delicious. I am blanking on the characters' names, but trust and believe this book was just sensational. Like, you really have to listen to it. It was so, so freaking good. 5 stars. Cannot wait to read more from Natasha Bishop. And the audiobook is available on like Hoopla, I think, like the library app. So again, definitely do yourself a favor. Check it out. I feel like you'll swoon over it. I just had the best fun time with it. Quickly for concealer, I just used the Fenty, it's like her luminous concealer. This is in the shade 110W. So again, it's a little bit brighter, but you know, I blended it into my tan color, so it just kind of illuminates a little bit under the eyes. To add even more color in my face, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild contour stick. This is honestly one of my favorite contour bronzing sticks. It's so freaking creamy. Like, it just completely gets the job done, all right? And I love it. It's like so cheap. What's it, like $5? So we love to see it. I'm gonna blend this out with a brush. And then after Only for the Week, I started my re-listen binge of the Fallen Men series by Gianna Darling. Now, if you know, you know, this is one of my favorite series of all time. It is now currently a, 7-book series, with the 8th book actually coming out this month in July, Asking for Trouble. I am so excited until I get that book in my hands. I will not know peace. Shout out to a reread of my favorite series for really bringing me back to life, because when I tell you I was zooming through these audiobooks, I was impressed with myself, because I have definitely had a slower reading month, you know. I'm not a slower reading month, a slower reading year. I definitely, you know, haven't been reading / listening to as much as I have in the past, and that's totally okay. I just checked the other day and I'm like 30 books behind on my reading goal, but still, binge listening to this series was the most fun that I feel like I've had all year, honestly, with reading. And if you don't know, the Fallen Men series, one of my favorite series, obviously, of all time. It is a motorcycle club series. I would 100% read them in order. You can technically read them as standalones, but the plots for sure all connect with each other. And the first book is Lessons in Corruption, with the most recent book being Caution to the Wind. So I guess I will put on one of my favorite parts of my whole routine, my blushes, and then we'll quickly go with each Fallen Men book real quick, and you know what I rated them. I cannot speak right now. Okay, I need to get back into it. I have to get it together. If you know me, I love blush. I love pink blush. I always just want to look like a little doll, little Barbie. That is always the inspo for my makeup. It really is. And I have been loving these Giorgio Armani blushes in the shade 62 and 53. Sabrina Carpenter's makeup artist was like, oh, these are the 2 blushes that I use on her. And I said, all right, bet, let me get them. And I'm not going to lie, do I think they're worth the money? 100%. They are insanely stunning. They blend out like a dream, and the formula is really long wearing. I would not recommend something, you know, this expensive if I didn't really believe in it. And also, the baby pink color is so unique, and I own a lot of blushes, a lot of pink blushes, and I don't have anything in this tone, so I do think they're worth it. I will say I think they're worth it. I'm just gonna blend that out. And quickly for the Fallen Men series, the first book is Lessons in Corruption, which is King and Cressida. This is a student-teacher book where she is the older one, and I love this book so much. I think it's extremely fun, great kickoff to the series. Upon reread, pretty sure I gave it 5 stars. Welcome to the Dark Side. I feel like it's my favorite book of all time. Of course, Infinite Stars, literally my favorite book ever. I have a tattoo for it. It's the most forbidden romance, I think, in the bunch due to the heaviness of the age gap. It's Zeus and Lulu's story, but it's perfect, it's beautiful, it's emotional. It's just a stunning book. Upon reread, I was just reminded again why it's my favorite book of all time. So of course, Infinite, A Million Stars. Good Gone Bad, which is Harley Rose's story, and I love Harley Rose so much. She's definitely one of my favorite female characters in the entire series. Her and Danner's book flashes back, you know, it's a couple years later from, you know, Welcome to the Dark Side and stuff, and I just ate this book the fuck up. I really loved it upon reread, rated it higher. Pretty sure I also gave this book like 5 stars, like upon reread, going from like a 4 to like a 5. After the Fall, though, is going to stay as my least favorite book in the series. This book is a 4-star. It's King and Cressida again, and this book is just a lot. And that's all I'll say about it. Obviously, I think it's great. It's really entertaining. Like, it really hooks you in. But the emotional distress that Gianna puts you through with this book just makes it my least favorite. So it's going to stay as a 4-star. Inked in Lies, Nova and Lila's story I had a feeling was gonna jump upon reread, and I was absolutely right. It did go from like a 4.5 star to a true 5-star. I really do understand why the girlies love this book so much, okay? When I first read the series, I was like, oh, everyone loves Nova and Lila. Do I understand it? I kind of did, but upon reread, no, I really did. This book is phenom. 5 stars. I love Lila. Like, the thing is, Nova and Lila are by Panic, okay? I love both of them. They're both so hot. I'm just, ooh, obsessed. My second favorite in the series is still for sure Dead Man Walking, Priest and Bia. Upon reread, people, I was losing my mind. I fucking love this book, man. Priest is helping find a crazy serial killer that's after his girl, after Bia, and they have a pretty big age gap as well. Bia is Lulu's sister, and this book just has that fun, you know, serial killer element. Priest is, you know, a psychopath, so he doesn't feel the same emotions as everyone else, and that's done really well in the book, and I am just obsessed with this book. Infinite stars as well. That's how much I love it, and it's staying as my second favorite in the series. And Caution to the Wind is my third favorite book in the series. This book is also gorgeous. Another big age gap because it's best friend's dad. This is Axeman and May's story. This book is really emotional. It's really beautiful, well done. I love it to bits, and it's actually my second time reading it this year because I read it when it came out. So look at that. Love to see it. I adore this book as well. So that was my little Fallen Men recap. And while I did that, I just wanted to try the powder in this blush from Patrick Ta, She's a Doll. I love these blushes so much. This is my first time putting on this color, and it's actually really cute. Yeah, it's very pink, very Barbie. Love it. I don't know how crazy it looks on camera, but I don't care. It's really cute. So very happy with that. And just to kind of set some of the creams on my face, I'm going to use actually the Mineral Veil from Bare Minerals. I just opened this yesterday to start using it in my routine. So I'm just going to put this under the eyes and anywhere that I just want to add a little bit of extra powder. After my Fallen Men reread, I listened to Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowell's newest book in her new series, and this book was fabulous. I gave it 4 stars. I love Catherine Cowell's. I mean, she is the romantic suspense found family queen. Her books are just also really, I think, well-paced and entertaining, and I love the found family that she does. Like, no one writes found family like Catherine, so this is a great start to her new series. I loved it. Pretty sure I gave it 4 or 4.5 stars. I can't wait to see where the rest of the series goes, and I really enjoyed this one on audio. After that, I listened to Savor It by Tara DeWitt, and I mean, Tara is my girl. She's one of my all-time favorite authors. This book I loved so much. Can't remember if I gave it 4.5 stars or 5 stars, but it's a really beautiful small town romance about Fisher, the chef, and I don't know why I'm blanking on the girl's name, but it was so fun and cute. I love their first meeting with each other, like in the small town. Fisher is staying with he's a guardian to, I think, his niece or something. So I always love that. We love a daddy, even a, you know, guardian daddy. I just thought this book was really charming. I love Tara's books, like I said. Perfect summer read as well because they want to compete together and, like, I don't know if it's like a canoe race. I think it's like something like that. So it's definitely strong summer vibes, strong small town vibes. So again, now is the time to pick it up. Same with like Fragile Sanctuary and Only for the Week. Really good like summer reads because they fit the vibe so well. And then for bronzer, I just put on an oldie but a goodie, you know, the Benefit Hoola bronzer, just to add some extra warmth to my face. Then to highlight, I'm actually going to put on 2 highlights because I'm a highlight whore. That's my go-to Benefit cookie. And then I've been loving this Kilowatt and called What Brat from Fenty, and it's the pink one, because of course it is. I listened to the audiobook for Where We Belong by Ashley Munoz, and this was 5 stars, baby. I loved this book. This is the second book in her Motorcycle Club series, and clearly I was having a motorcycle themed month, okay? I couldn't move on after finishing my successful binge of the Fallen Men series, and this Ashley Munoz series is so good. This one is between the girl who is the best friend of the girl in book one and the guy who is like their best friend. Like, he knows the couple in book one really well, and he's the new president of the MC, and I just ate that up. This book, they have such like sexy tension between them, and again, there's a lot of drama, some angst, and you know, very much like, no, you're mine, and then she tries to make him jealous with like another guy, and there's like forced proximity kind of. I just feel like they're with each other for a lot of the book, and of course there's some suspense in there, and it was just so good. I'm so excited to read the last two books in the series. Overall, again, I love this series. I feel like it's getting more and more popular, as it should. Audiobooks are also on Hoopla, so again, you can check them out from the library, which I love. Totally recommend them on audio. They are so good. Definitely one of my favorite reads of the summer so far, and it's very memorable for me. I think about it all the time. I really do. Eyebrows, I just cannot be bothered to do anything crazy with my eyebrows, so I'm just going to use my brow gel to fill them in. This is Auburn from Sephora collection, and then go over that with a clear brow gel just to hold them in place. I will not talk about this book a lot because I didn't like it, and you can't even get it because it's banned on Amazon because it is an extreme taboo romance book called The Eclipse Ritual. And it's not that I didn't like it because it was an extreme taboo romance. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that it just simply wasn't that good. And there was a lot of unnecessary violence towards like women in it. And it's like about a cult, and it is taboo because it's blood-related siblings. I know that won't be for everyone. There was, you know, a lot of spice in it, which was fine, but it was just very repetitive. I think it went on for too long, and I was kind of bored. Shockingly, for an extreme taboo romance, I was like, okay, what's happening? So I'm pretty sure I gave it like a 2-star. Maybe it's like a 3-star. It wasn't horrible, but I just don't recommend it. And again, you can't even find the book anywhere because it's banned off Amazon. I don't think it's worth your money to buy it. So this was just a pass for me. We do have, what is it called? Collide by, what's the author's name? Bal Cabra. I don't want to say this wrong, but this is a hockey romance, and this was actually quite cute. I listened to it on audio. Pretty sure I gave it 4 stars because I did really like it. It just, again, kind of went on a smidge too long. It's opposites attract. It's a girl who literally needs to do like an assignment for, I don't know if it's for like a college program, no, or maybe they're in college, maybe for grad school or something. So it's like she needs to do an assignment with a sports team. She gets stuck with the hockey team, even though she really doesn't want to be there. And the main guy, actually, for like a jock, is quite sweet and quite caring. I feel like if you like Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, you'll like this. I don't want to compare the two because they're not identical, but I do think if you like one, you'll like the other. There's some spice in here that was really cute. It's not my favorite thing that I've ever read. Like, college sports romances will, you know, I think they'll never be my favorite thing in the entire world, but for a new to me author, for a debut novel, I thought it was really fun, and I can see a whole bunch of people really liking this book. And then the last book that I listened to in May was Forbidden King by Laura Pavlov. I'm on her ARC team, so her audio ARC team. So I did get the audio ARC of this. This is a forbidden romance, obviously, and it's like best friends, little sister, but they have had this connection since they were younger, and they get to kind of explore it more while her brother is away. And it's just a really solid small town romance. Like Catherine Cowles, I think Laura Pavlov does found family extremely well, and I just had a whole bunch of fun with this one. Pretty sure I gave it 4 stars. I'm really excited for the next book in the series, which is her single dad one. I know that is going to slap. Like, I'm so excited. That comes out pretty soon. And overall, I have really been enjoying this new series from Laura. And again, I love her books on audio because they are such quick and fun listens. All I did so far was use one of my favorite Sephora shifter palettes. Well, I just got this new one, but I have the pink one of this one, and I am just obsessed with it. And I just used this matte color literally all over my eyes with this big fluffy brush like that. And then I just used this other fluffy brush to put this darker color in my outer corner. I really don't get too crazy with eyeshadow. I just like a little bit of like a cute blend, and then I will actually go in now with a liquid shadow on top. This is from REM Beauty. She makes really, really gorgeous liquid shadows, and those were all of the books that I read in May. So let's get into the books that I read in June. Okay, so the first book that I listened to in June was Just This Once by Lena Hendricks, and I have been loving this book. I actually assisted Lena at Book Bonanza, and I do have a Book Bonanza haul video that I filmed a while ago that I just need to edit, and hopefully it sees the light of day, so I will talk more about that in there. But I love Lena, and I loved this book. I thought this book was fabulous, okay? It is a forbidden romance between a girl and a guy who is a firefighter, and the reason it's forbidden is because she is the fire chief's daughter. And I love Lena's books on audio. They are so hot and fun, full of all those small town antics that, you know, I love. And it was just so hot. Really, really loved it. Really, really loved it. So solid. I gave it 4 stars, I'm pretty sure. And I cannot wait to see what happens next in the series. And quickly, I'm just using this color on top of the REM shadow just to kind of add that extra pop. And that looks very, very pretty. Ooh, I like that. I like the way that looks a lot. As June was Pride Month, I really did try my best to read a whole bunch of LGBTQ plus books by queer authors, because number one, you should be reading queer all year, but especially in June, I wanted to show that it's really not that hard to diversify your reading. And I listened to the audiobook for Teacher of the Year by, what is the author's name? M.A. Wardell. And this was a MM romance between you would never guess, a teacher and the dad to one of his students. I am not going to talk while I do my eyeliner, but I just used a brown liquid liner and pray that my wing doesn't look that crazy, because, you know, it always just does its own thing. I always have a wing liner, but I never claim to be good at doing wing liner. And then I'm just actually going to go back in with my highlighter. Where is it? Where is it? My Benefit. There we go. My Benefit Cookie highlighter, just to highlight my inner corner and under my brows. So back to this book. I gave it a 4-star because there personally a topic kind of popped up in this book that I wasn't expecting, that is a little bit of a triggering topic for me. And it did kind of become a conflict in their relationship. And again, I was just really taken, like I was thrown off guard that was something that was going to be in this book. So that kind of pulled me out of the book for a second there. And it just wasn't my favorite thing that I thought needed to be included in this book. But overall, aside from that, this book was super cute. Like, it really was. It was very spicy. The audiobook was really fun because it kind of had like sound effects in it. So like if the character was getting a text message or like typing on the computer, you kind of heard that. And I would for sure read more from this author because I really did like his writing style. And again, it was really, really cute. And I feel like if you like MM romances, especially, why not give it a shot? It was a very well done book. And then switching gears to a sapphic romance that these bitches really put me through it. This book, I'm pretty sure I gave Meeting Millie, what, 4 or 4.5 stars. Another issue I had with it was I thought it was a bit too long. But aside from that, this book was so, so good. But I feel like it was so, like, not emotional to the point where, like, I wanted to cry throughout the whole thing, but, like, you really feel the connection between these girls. I think this book was so well written, so well done, so just, like, beautiful, and I wasn't expecting it that, like, by the end of the book, I was like, huh, like, okay, they're together. It's a lot, because this book is actually a friends to strangers back to friends, two lover story about two girls who meet in college and then they connect a couple years later. And it was just a lot. I feel like if you like those kind of long, grand romances, you'll love this. There's definitely a lot of angst between them, a lot of tension. I just, you know, it's definitely a very character driven book, I will say. So overall, I thought the book was, you know, so well done. Is it my favorite book I've ever read? No, but I totally think if you love sapphic romances, you should definitely check this book out. Like, I think you'll have such a good time with it because I definitely had a good time with it. Okay, we zoomed back out a little bit because we can put on some mascara. I love this Ilia mascara. It's truly so good and so worth the hype. Quickly, another romance that I listened to. I finally got to, what is it called? Unhinged by Onley James. This is actually a serial killer romance. It's between a serial killer and a guy who, I don't know if he's like the son of someone who he's unalived in the past. And this book is super steamy, like really steamy, really well paced, super fun and nice and short, which I loved. I think all of the books in the series, because it is a pretty long series. I think there's like 7-ish books, maybe more than that. They're all pretty short, so I would for sure listen to more books in the series, you know, when I need something quick and fun to listen to. It's a whole series of these men who are trained to be like unalivers. It kind of reminded me of like the Mind F series, but you know, like and you know, more, I guess, fun and even like way spicier than the Mind F series. So I'm just saying, I feel like if you like the Mind F series, you'll like this. I would definitely check it out. I also think it's a good beginner dark romance because while obviously there's darkness in it, I didn't think it was too much. And honestly, the main romance between the couple, the two guys, was quite sweet. Like, it's definitely pretty insta-lust, and the guy is like, I'm so protective over you, and like stuff like that. So it was quite cute. Like, I really had a great time with it. It's a super solid 4-star. A quick moment for the audiobook for Lady Venom Takes a Mistress, because another book that I rated 4-star, this is a sapphic monster romance, and you know, it's Miss Lady Venom. It's a period piece, which I loved. At least I think it was. I mean, it definitely has to be, right? Yeah. So it's like there's this like cursed woman who I think lives in like the woods, and our main girl is supposed to be married off to a man in town, but then she like escapes from him, and then Lady Venom like saves her, and she, you know, brings her back to her castle or something, and is like, well, now you're my mistress, and teaches her all the wonders of the world. And there's like magic and again a curse that kind of has to be broken, and it's very quick. And the thing is with the audiobook is I did not realize that it was like a graphic audiobook where there were an insane amount of sound effects. Like, I'm talking like when the snakes were hissing, you heard it. There were even, I don't know if I should say it, but there were like sound effects during like the spicy scenes. It was just wild. It was a whole production, and Miss Cat Blackthorn, I loved it. I really cannot wait to read more from Cat because I thought this book was so spicy and it was so fun. Like, it really was so fun. I don't know if everyone's gonna like actually the audiobook because of all of the noises, but I personally thought it was a hoot and a half, and you can also listen to it on KU. Again, it's super short. I feel like if you love sapphic monster romances, you'll love this. Like, you will really love this because I'm a fan. I'm a stan. I had such a good time with it. For sure, one of the most memorable fun books that I read in June. We're almost done, which is crazy. So let me just put on my lip, which is going to be from Makeup Forever. I'm gonna line with this pink lip liner in the color 900. It's kind of like a purpley. And then for the lip on top, I'm obsessed with these About Face lip glosses. They're so cute. I've kind of been in a pink mood, you know, for spring, summer. Obviously, I can't really talk about books while I put this on. These About Face lip things are so incredible because they're so pigmented, but because it's like a balmy stick, it feels so nice on the lips. I'm absolutely, like, I'm truly obsessed with them. And if you want like a pop of color for the summer, definitely get one of these. You can get them at Ulta. Pink is just so pretty. Like, I know the lighting went out again, but it is, you see that? It's just such a gorgeous pink. Okay, and I only have like 3 books left to talk about, and the next book we'll talk about, actually the next 2 are the only 2 books that I gave 5 stars for this month, and the first one is Honeycut by Sierra Simone, which is the follow-up to Salt Kiss. And one thing about Sierra Simone is she is going to write the hottest books in the entire planet. Like, I swear to God, this woman, she is one of my favorite authors for a reason. I love her, but like, I love her. I love her books. I loved Salt Kiss, right? I mean, I love Salt in the Wound, which is the prequel book that you have to read before you read Salt Kiss. Then I really enjoyed Salt Kiss. I was like, yeah, this is great. Wonderful. Honeycut, so good, so hot. This is a MMF series, which is a Tristan and Isolde reimagining, and this book just picks up where Salt Kiss left off, so I guess I won't spoil too much, but it was so hot. And I do like the main girl in this book more than American Queen, and I'm going to directly compare this to the New Camelot trilogy because number one, they're set in the same world, and number two, they really do remind me of each other a lot. I think they are quite similar, but I do think the main girl in this book, Isolde, is way stronger of a character than Greer was. So I do like that, but overall, I think if you like the New Camelot trilogy, it's literally impossible for you not to like this new series that she's doing. They're both MMF, both set in the same world, and it's all the mess, all the drama, all the spice, and I love them, and I just am having such a good time with this series. This was such a good 5-star. I love the audiobook as well. Like, please listen to Sierra Simone book on audio. They're phenomenal. Same with the Lauren Asher book. I love her books on audio, and Love Unwritten was so good. Even though this book was really long, I liked it so much that I do think it's worth like a 4.5, rounded up to a 5. It was so cute. This is her single dad nanny book, and it's a little bit of an age gap. Small town, even though they do go on vacation. So again, this is a very good summer read because of the beach vibes, the summer vibes, and again, the found family in this one was so beautiful. This book definitely touches on topics that are pretty heavy, a little bit more emotional, but it was such a gorgeous book. It really was so well done. I loved Ellie and Raphael so much, and his son, it was so cute. Like, this book really was so freaking good. Like, Raphael is an animal daddy, and I love that for him. I loved the element of Ellie being a songwriter, and I just found this book to be very beautiful. It's for sure one of my new favorite Lauren books. I love the pink cover. The audiobook was sensational, done in duet style. Fantastic, and you must pick it up. The last book that I listened to this month was actually my least favorite, and that was The Psycho by Nikki J. Summers. This book wasn't bad. It just really wasn't for me at all. I do think it's actually a pretty good beginner, like, dark romance because he stalks her. It's the first book in a series where it's kind of this like London gang of guys who like want to take down the bad guys. It's not like mafia or anything. It's just kind of this London gang, I guess. I don't know. And it was fine. Like, it was fine. I liked that it didn't go on for too long. I just expected maybe a little bit more because the reason I bought this audiobook was I saw some quote or something from the author on her TikTok, and I remember I got so excited to read it, but the book was just such a letdown. Also, I think it's technically new adult, which, listen, I don't mind. I just maybe didn't look into this book enough before I got it. And again, I don't think it's bad. I think if you've never read a dark romance before, again, this is a great place to start because there is some of those little dark elements. There's some suspense at the end, and, you know, whatever. It just is not memorable for me at all. Wasn't anything that I care about too much. The audiobook was fun though because it does have Shane East on it, and he's a really great male narrator because he has, you know, that sexy voice. They're English, like I said, and it was just fine. It was very fine. So it's not bad, but it wasn't particularly very good either. All right, friends. So that was it. That was my summer reading wrap up for May and June while I got ready and did my like signature summer makeup. I basically always have this going on where it's like simple eyeshadow with definitely that wing liner, pop of highlight. I love a lip color, obviously pink blush and highlight. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions for me about makeup or anything, totally let me know below. People message me on Instagram all the time as well. I am happy to be back on YouTube. I promise I will try to post more videos again regularly. And yeah, this was really fun. I cannot wait to do more of these in the future. And that I think is everything. All of my socials are linked down below if you want to follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. Get all of the reading updates in the moment and life updates down below. Please subscribe, like, comment, share if you enjoyed this video. It means so, so much to me. You don't even know. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.